Hi, everybody. Welcome into LCTV 66 Inside Sports. Eric May along with Nick Dianastasis. Long time since we've been together, but Nick, a lot of things we want to get to, kind of put a cap on the baseball season. Entertaining year, to say the least. Before we dive into some of the details, your thoughts on the 2024 Major League Baseball season?
It was an interesting year. There was some big upsets. Your New York Mets knocked my Phillies out. That's amazing. The Phillies, unbelievable.
I'm glad you said it.
The Mets, they got hot when they had in the playoffs. They had a pretty good run in the playoffs overall.
Yeah.
And Phillies, unfortunately, they were a disappointment. I think the Phillies relied too much on the home run ball. And say, just get the basics. Get singles, doubles, triples. They get home runs during the game. Great. Whenever you can get them and try and win championships.
Yeah.
Especially in playoff games, all the way to the World Series and all that stuff.
Well, they got off to a great start. It looked like they were going to run away with it. Now, granted, they did win the division.
Yeah.
But, stumbled somewhat in the second half of the season. So, your division winners in the National League, the Phillies, the Brewers, and the Dodgers, and then the wild card, 3 from the East, the Braves and the Mets, and then out west, San Diego. So, some familiar faces, obviously, in the Phillies, the Braves, the Dodgers. The Mets making a reappearance again. The Brewers winning the division.
Yeah.
Do you think winning the division and having that time off hurt the Phillies? I mean, looking back, did it hurt them, or do you think they really needed that week off?
That's a good question. Sometimes it benefits a team so well. Depending who it is, what sports in that situation. Other teams, it can hurt them, that long layoff sometimes. Yeah. They come out a little stale. Not the way they played in the regular season to get to that point.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Phillies and Dodgers both earning the bye in the first round.
Yeah.
Padres knocking off the Braves, and then the Mets knocking off the Brewers, which then set up the Mets-Phillies, and then the Dodgers-Padres series. And it really comes down to then the pitching. Once you get to that stage of the season, and I think really what was impressive about the Dodgers is the fact that they had so many injuries, but they were still able to overcome them, and not only win the NL East, but then also win the whole thing.
Right, and the difference in the Dodgers, they did everything so well when they had to. The players got hot when they had to be. Did everything well. They didn't run on the long ball all the time like the Phillies did a lot during the playoffs to try and get to the next level each series, keep advancing, get the World Series. They just did it where they're supposed to do it. Just whatever home runs you had, great. Whatever ones you don't, you gotta get singles, doubles, triples, and get walks. That way to win games. Yeah. Good pitching, starting pitching, relief pitching, all that stuff.
Well, and of course, who was the big hero really for the Dodgers was a guy they acquired at the trade deadline. They got Tommy Erdman from the St. Louis Cardinals.
Right.
He had a monstrous postseason and has since been rewarded with an extended contract for the Dodgers. So, sometimes it's not always the guys you have at the beginning of the season, but it's those pieces that you add as the season goes on.
What they do later in the year, how they all of a sudden get hot when they have to get hot to get to that point, try and win a championship.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And as you know, it's the first time since the Dodgers, the Yankees playing each other in the World Series since 1981. In 43 years.
Wow, and it seemed like they were playing each other every other year back in that span.
Yeah, back in 50s, 60s, and 70s, right? It seemed like,
Well, in the American League, your Yankees, Cleveland Guardians, and the Houston Astros were division winners, and then the wild card teams, the Orioles, the Royals, and the Detroit Tigers. So some fresh faces in the American League, and not only did they make the playoffs, but you look at teams like Kansas City and Detroit, both won their first rounds in advance. I thought it was tremendous. I think it was great for baseball that you're not seeing the same teams. Plus, you're showing that even if you are a small market team, you can still be successful. And Kansas City and Detroit, not big budgets, but they had quite a season.
Exactly. It's just what they make of the talent. Of course, not much money they shelve out to pay the players, as you realize. So what they make of those opportunities, how well they're coached, what they got to do, what not to do to get to the next level.
Yeah, and we saw the Baltimore Orioles in it. This is a team that we saw last season was starting to get better, and they performed, unfortunately, for the Orioles, once it got to the postseason, the bats went silent, and they lost in that opening series to Kansas City, and really did not make much noise at all.
And I'm kind of surprised where the Orioles last 2 years in the American League were very dominant in the regular season. Is that true? They won 100 games 2 years in a row in that regular season before the playoffs.
Let's see. No,
I think it was at least once.
They won 91 this past season.
It was 100 some
Yeah.
last year before the playoffs. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And I think what makes this exciting now is for teams like Kansas City, Detroit, Milwaukee, now this could help as far as building their team through free agency, because guys are realizing, hey, this is a team that's on the rise. Maybe this could be a good fit. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here in the off season as far as free agency.
Yeah.
Teams building, calling guys up from the minor leagues, but it'll all be here before you know it. I mean, February will be here, and pitchers and catchers will be reporting, but a lot to get to, obviously, before then. And free agency is underway. Not real big signings yet. More to come, obviously. But let me get into the postseason awards. American League MVP. Aaron Judge, New York Yankees, second time he won the MVP, his first one in 2022. He hit .322 with 58 home runs, 144 RBIs. I don't think really any doubt that he was going to be the AL MVP.
He's had an incredible year. Deserved to win the MVP in the regular season. Absolutely, the Aaron Judge of the Yankees.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think what's impressive about him is for his size. He gets stolen bases. He's a good defensive outfielder. You're getting really all five tools when you get a player like Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge, that's true. Is he about 6'6", 6'7"?
He's big.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know exactly how tall he is, but he is a big man.
Yeah.
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 All right. NL MVP. And again, I don't think any surprise here. Shohei Ohtani, .310 batting average, 54 home runs, 130 runs batted in. But I think the really thing that made him stand out was the 59 stolen bases.
That is remarkable.
Incredible.
And not only that, he's actually an outstanding pitcher as long as he's healthy, doesn't have any arm injuries. It's unbelievable what he can do. He might be like back into another like Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Hit for power home runs with the old Boston Red Sox. And he pitches a real good starting pitcher for 3 or 4 years with the Red Sox before he was sold, of course, to the Yankees. Of course, the rest is history after that.
Now, Ohtani did not pitch this year. Because of
a rotator cuff surgery, is that what it was?
Of an injury
Okay.
That he sustained when he was with the Angels. So he took the year off as far as pitching is concerned, focused solely on his batting, which obviously proved to be worthwhile. Now, the talk is that he is going to pitch next year. I doubt we see these kind of numbers if he pitches. Or do you think we could see these kind of numbers again next year?
Well, I'll tell you, that's a good question. Why I say it because, some players are exception to the rule. Maybe he's one of the exceptional players where he can pitch great and hit well in the same year. As long as he doesn't get hurt, doesn't get sick or anything, he stays healthy.
Well, and that's what amazes me about him is the fact when he was with the Angels and he was pitching and he was a designated hitter, I mean, he was still putting up solid numbers. I just wonder, how does a guy sustain that type of energy for the entire season and put up those kind of numbers? Incredible.
It is. That's incredible what he does. It is.
All right. Now, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Other postseason awards. And we saw an impressive rookie, 2 rookies of the year. Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates, 11-3, 1.96 ERA, 170 strikeouts. This guy took the National League by storm.
He did. I see won the Cy Young Award. I mean, it's well deserved. He just had an outstanding year with the Pirates. Absolutely.
Only threw 133 innings, so they monitored it, put him on a monitor as far as his pitching is concerned early on. But to have 170 strikeouts in just 133 innings of work is just absolutely amazing.
It is. Yeah.
Luis Gil of the Yankees, 15-7, a 3.50 earned run average and 171 strikeouts. But here's the interesting thing. 2 Cy Young Award winners won what was considered the Triple Crown as far as the record, earned run average, and strikeouts. And in the American League, it went to Detroit's Tariq Skubal. Amazing. 18-4, 2.39 earned run average, 228 strikeouts. Chris Sale of the Braves, 18-3, 2.38, and 225 strikeouts. So these guys both won that Triple Crown of pitching. First time it's happened since 2011 that both pitchers in each league won the Triple Crown. Can you name the two pitchers that won it in 2011?
The Triple Crown.
Yeah.
I think that would be. You mean American and National League combined?
It happened in the same season in 2011.
2000, I think that might.
I'll give you
obviously starting pitcher, and not
Yes,
relievers,
I'll
right?
give you one hint. The National League pitcher was a left-hander. The American League pitcher was a right-hander.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you the team. That'll be
No,
way too easy.
No, I understand. I don't want to. Yeah, I fully understand. Hopefully, at least get 1 out of 2 right. I'm hoping.
Both were still pitching in 2024. There's another hint.
So I'm assuming it might be with different teams. I'm assuming these guys this year compared to back in 2011. Maybe they were pitching with different teams.
National League, same team. American League, no.
Okay.
National League, the guy was on the World Series championship team of this year.
Oh, the pitcher, right?
Yes.
I'm trying to think who that guy was. Now I'm trying to think.
And he just declined a $10 million extension on his contract, or as far as a renewal of his contract. War number 22.
Oh, I think I remember that guy. I knew he was a senior. I'm not going to remember his name. He's very familiar. He's a terrific, outstanding major league pitcher. It was that guy?
I'll give it to you. It's Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw. That's
All
who
right.
it is.
The American League pitcher was a right-hander. I'll give you a hint. He played with this team that he won the Cy Young with. He's also pitched for the Astros and the New York Mets.
Is it that guy? Oh my gosh! Just what his name? It was. Oh my gosh! Justin Verlander.
That's him. Very good. Very good. Now, here's another trivia question. The Braves, with Chris Sale winning, have the second most Cy Young Award winners of all time. Chris Sale being one of them. Can you name the other 4?
And those Cy Young Awards one of all time.
That
Currently.
with that one that were with the Atlanta Braves.
With the Braves. Okay. I was, of course, Clayton Kershaw. I know he did it with the
Dodgers.
With the Dodgers, of course.
So
Yeah, there was-
who are the
yeah.
4 other Braves to have won a Cy Young?
I'm going to say Greg Maddux,
Yep.
John Smoltz,
Yep.
Tom Glavine,
Yep. One more.
and one other one. Oh my gosh.
I'll give you a hint.
Tom Glavine, John Smoltz.
You got to go back in time.
I already said Greg Maddux. I already said him. Okay. Oh, would it be Phil Niekro?
No. It's a good guess. In fact, it might have been Milwaukee Braves when he won this one.
Oh my God, no. Okay. And this guy's obviously a pitcher too with the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm trying to think if it was with Milwaukee Braves or Atlanta Braves. I know they moved to Atlanta in 1966 from Milwaukee. The Braves became Atlanta Braves from Milwaukee Braves. Supposedly what it sounded like. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'll give you his initials.
It can't be. It already said Phil Niekro. I was not his brother Joe Niekro.
How about W.S.? Warren Spahn.
Warren Spahn, one of the best
Warren Spahn.
pitchers ever. Also, I heard also he's a really good home run hitter for a starting pitcher. What I've heard about him.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what they said about
Yeah,
him.
Maddox, a 3-time winner. Glavine, 2-time winner. Smoltz, Spahn, and now Chris Sale. All right. Quickly, because our segment is just about up. Juan Soto's the big name as far as the free agency in 2024. Your guess, Juan Soto will be playing for what team in 2025?
I understand I can't pay Phillies to dish out enough money for so many guys paying that so much.
Maybe, maybe not. I want to write this down so we can talk about it later.
Okay,
So,
I'll take a guess. The teams that might be interested, in playing for.
what team
He'd
do
love
you
to play for.
what team do you think Juan Soto will be playing for in 2025?
I think if it'd be a National League or American League team, that's what I got to figure. I remember he went from the Padres to the Yankees last year. Either as a free agent or was traded. I think he was traded, from the Padres to the Yankees. I'm going to guess and say it would either have to be the New York Mets or LA Dodgers as possibilities.
Well, it can only be one. You got to give me one team.
Okay. I wonder if it might be the Mets. Is that a great possibility?
Well, that's been talked about. All right. Last question. It is kind of a threefold. As far as the Phillies, do the Phillies make a big splash in signing a free agent? Do they make a blockbuster trade? Or do they do both?
I think the Phillies, I have a hunch they might do both. Because they got to get over the hump in the playoffs to go further for all the talent that they have. This hitter starting lineup. And think about it, Zach Wheeler just did a great job for last year. He dealt with, and hopefully he can win a Cy Young Award for him. Hopefully next year, if he can win more games, as far as hit better for him, give him more runs to work with. And then they need also make the bullpen better. Philly's bullpen at times was great. Other times it was terrible.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think they need to get at least one really good quality relief pitcher, at least maybe two. They expect to go further in the playoffs next year. The kind of team they had this year, they just fell so short in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well,
pitching really hurt, and that lack of pitching.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Relief pitcher really needed the most down the road.
Zach Wheeler was second in the Cy Young. I'm sure he would give that all up for a World Series championship.
Yeah,
but
right.
So we'll see what the off season has for us, and we can revisit this in the spring when baseball's about to get underway. And
sounds good.
We'll see where things look like at this point. So, okay, very good. All right, Nick, that puts our recap on the 2024 baseball season. Thanks for joining us here on LCTV 66 Inside Sports. For Nick Dianastasis, I'm Eric May.